Hello everybody, how are you all doing today? Welcome to yet another episode of Slay with Anita. Today I'm going to discuss something really interesting. Last week we had done logical levels of change. Two leaders who gave speeches addressing their nations on the 14th of April 2020. And that got me thinking that while we have gone through logical levels of change, what happens when we break those levels? Or, in other words, what happens when we go out of alignment? Because obviously the most powerful way to influence anybody is by ensuring that we are operating at all the levels. Whereas, let's see what is the difference between the way these two leaders chose to function as. In one case, the leader clearly seemed to operate from the purpose that the nation's superpower status has to be maintained, does not matter what is the crisis in the environment going around. The belief clearly seemed to be my authority as a leader and my authority alone is total and hence cannot be challenged and hence cannot be or rather does not require discussion with anybody else around me. The capability seemed to clearly be that I think I'm invincible and yes, nothing can happen to me. So I can throw caution to the winds and do exactly what I feel. Well, if this was one way of functioning by one leader, on the other hand, there was another leader who probably operated from the purpose that I am a caretaker of this nation, which also seems to be the identity that he held, as a result of which the values seem to be distinctly compassion and complete awareness, acceptance and acknowledgement of what's happening in the environment around. Which is why if you look at both the speeches and the course of action thereafter, very clearly the behavior translated from the way the higher levels function. However, what was a desired way of congruence and what was not a desired way of congruence? So for all of us also, how do we recognize that we are probably functioning not in an aligned and a useful manner? Well, whenever we encounter any kind of a conflict with people around us, be it a disgruntled family member, be it the external market, be it say our team member, the fact is if something is not going quite right or the way others are choosing to respond to me is not quite what it must be, then clearly we've gone out of alignment. So how do we fix this? Well, they were global leaders. Even talking about the influence that people around us, the day-to-day situations where we probably experience this alignment or the lack of it is very fascinating. Well, all of you, do you have a favorite tea vendor close to your office, or do you have that favorite grocer close to your office or home, or do you have that experience where you feel that somebody has really influenced you in a manner which is quite unexplainable? Let me take a small instance. So in one of the organizations, or no, I'll probably have to say in most of the organizations where I have worked, there always used to be this one small tea vendor who would be there next to the office. And of course, me and my colleagues would be regulars out there. And the exemplary level of service that this tea vendor would provide at all levels, be it the environment, that means just taking care of brushing away things while we have come for tea because we are the regulars, to the way we would be greeted and allowed credit, the way the whole process of serving us would happen, and clearly looked like the identity with which the tea vendor operated would be that yes, here's something that I do that I really love and I'm happy serving these people who are my regular customers. And the purpose of course was that providing the much needed break from the humdrum of the office hours. Now contrast that to some experiences that you and I go through where we wonder whether that person has been completely congruent or not. Think about those very highly paid service staff in, let's say, big restaurants, or let us say the air hostesses in airplanes. Now, mind you, I'm not trying to judge them. Of course, they must be having very hectic schedules, and I'm pretty sure they have their reasons. But I wonder, when sometimes I see that very artificial seeming smile, whether that congruence is there, whether that stepping into the identity is there, that hey, I'm doing this because I'm supposed to maintain the best brand image possible of the organization that I'm working for. My identity has to be that I'm actually the person servicing the customer in this particular situation. And hence, can I know what are the ways in which to service this customer in the best possible manner? And then the behavior, of course, translates. Do you want to know how to actually affect the change? Do you want to know how to really ensure that we sustainably present ourselves in a congruent manner? Well, here's the tip. It's very easy for us to focus at the lower levels. In fact, when you see most of the trainings that are conducted, most of the performance appraisal discussions that happen, or most of the interventions that generally tend to occur, it seems to be at the environment and the behavior level, or I would say more at the behavior level. But this is the point where we must ask ourselves, is that the most powerful way to engage? To take a quick example, let's say you have someone who says, I can't do this properly. And this is an example Sue also quotes in her book. And then she goes on to say, when someone says, I can't do this, then if I say, do it this way or do it that way, I'm only working at the behavior level. Now imagine, behavior is at one of the lower rungs of the levels of change. Instead, the least that I actually need to engage with that sales guy is on the capability level. Probably go a step higher and demonstrate, show, let that person experience firsthand how to do something a certain way. Now I hope you understand that when salespeople are made to do those countless role plays, the idea is to give them practice at the capability level so that the change at the behavioral level comes about. But many a time, that itself might not be enough. So, can we all take a pledge today? Can we all make a commitment today that when we engage with people around us, can we tap into the higher levels? Can we ask them? Can we be curious when they are functioning a certain way as to what is the purpose that they are operating from? What is the identity that they are choosing to step into? And hence, what are the values that they are really having inside them when they are playing out something? And hence, what is the impact on their subsequent behavior? Well, are you a puppet or are you a puppet master? There are some instances which Sue discusses very real world, but you'll have to wait for my next episode to understand that. Yes, otherwise, I hope all of you are doing safe. I'm doing this video quickly just before I'm preparing breakfast, and so you're seeing the kitchen behind me. I hope all of you have a great week ahead. Before I forget, I have recorded a series of videos with my mentor Ramesh Prasad, who runs this firm called Onefluencer, which is into NLP training and coaching. So if all of you also want to get some more insights with real world sharing about how to use NLP in our day-to-day life, then please do catch the latest episode on Saturday. I'll of course see you the next Thursday. Till then, stay home, stay safe, wherever you are in the world. Thank you so much, and thank you for watching Slay It with Anita. Bye.